I have absolutely no idea if what I'm about to try is going to work. So I'm turning the camera on, I'm gonna document it, and stay tuned to the end of the video to see if it was a win or a fail. Hi everyone, I'm Michelle and welcome back to my meadow. I'm gardening in zone 9A in Northeast Florida. I'm not an expert gardener, but I love showing you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and embracing the imperfection that learning to garden has to offer. In 2021 in the fall, I planted Asian wing bean seeds to see if I could grow them in my yard. I put them right here in the front fruit guild, but I planted them way too late in the season. They didn't have time to both sprout and then put on lots and lots of fruit. So nothing happened. They froze back over the winter, and then last year, surprisingly, they came back. And they came back mad crazy. By the end of that season, that trellis broke, and I basically cut them all back to the ground and left them to see if they would come back once again. Well, guess what? They have. But now I want to do something a little better. I want to put them in a raised garden bed and build a trellis around that. So that's what I'm going to start working on today. Part one is digging them up. We're going to see how this works out. I'm going to try to come back away from the vines a little bit to make sure that I'm not digging into the tubers. The funny thing about the Asian wing beans is they do grow from these tubers, kind of like potatoes. And everything I read says that the leaves, the vines, the beans, and even the tubers are edible. There's one. I kind of thought that would be a lot bigger than that. I wonder if I broke some off under the ground like with a sweet potato, but maybe not. Say hello to my little friend. Now, this one is so tiny, I suspect it might be new from a fallen bean that happened out here last year. One of the things I was worried about was that I may have some cross-pollination because I had other beans planted nearby. So I'm going to keep an eye on this, and if I end up with beans that are not looking like Asian wing beans, then I'll know why. Tubers, y'all. I don't know, I kind of expected it would be big, like great big sweet potatoes down there, but this is good. I don't think I broke very many off under the ground, and this is going to be exciting to see if I can transplant them and make something happen in the new raised garden bed up here. Next step, I'm going to put some water on these until I can finish the transplanting process. I think they will be a lot happier than just sitting in an empty bucket. And now I've got to get ready and set this up with my cardboard and wood and make a garden bed. this log up all the way from the creek, uphill up to the front. I'm feeling pretty proud of myself. Just a couple of months ago, I couldn't pick that log up. I am back at it this morning. It's about 6:30 a.m. This is day 4 of this project. Each morning before I go to work, I've been working on another part of this. The first day I laid everything out. Then the next day I went and got mulch from Mom. And then yesterday I got this soil. So today we're going to finish setting up this garden bed. Okay, I have just about everything I need here to do this. I've got raised garden bed mix. I got some mushroom compost to make that go a little further, as well as perlite, because I want to make sure they have a good soil to grow in and hang on to the moisture and stuff. It'll be a lot different because they're going to be in a raised bed. They're not going to be in this ground. And I don't know if the water is going to be a big difference, but we'll manage it. Now, let's get a little closer look at this round bed. I've got one great big log here that I've been saving for this project, and I found a few more out here in the area. I did not fill this in with logs because I have some other projects coming up, and the logs will be in the way for what I do with this bed. So stay tuned to see those other projects. Now, actually, I'm going to turn this. So that the log is not blocking any of the screws. You might be wondering what that project is. You'll just have to tune in to the next video. Now, I've got cardboard laid around the edges. I went ahead and shot it all the way to the outside on all sides. I'll come back and put some more mulch around the edges when I'm done. If I don't have enough from here, I'll make a decision. I can always go to Mom's and get a couple more buckets and put around the edges so that that's covered up as well. So let's get dumping and mixing. All right, that got me filled up almost halfway on the bed. The beans, when I took them out, were only about 6 or 8 inches under the surface, so I think this is going to be plenty of room once we add the soil in. Here we go. I did forget my knife because one of my little pet peeves is ripping these open so they can't be used again. I like to take these bags, open them at the top, and then I save them as trash bags. And while it doesn't really save necessarily a whole bunch of money, maybe I've had 100 or so bags since we've lived here, it does mean that it's fewer plastic bags going into the compost. So I think it's a win for the environment. Forgot my mask, so I'm covering my face for a second with a t-shirt, and I'll let that settle before I get in there and start digging it up. I do want to say thank you to Vego Garden for providing this bed for me to try out. In other videos, we'll talk a little bit more about the bed, but I am an affiliate for Vego, and if you choose to make a purchase through any of my links, I will receive a small commission that helps support this channel, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. Well, that is looking mighty fine. Mighty fine indeed. All right, I guess now it's time to get those beans put back in here. Now, I put these in a bucket of water with the hopes of keeping them happy enough. They look a little peaked, but I think getting back in the soil is going to be just the trick they need. Now, I'm already anticipating the question, what am I going to do if they die? Well, I have more seeds and I'll plant more. But I originally planted these seeds, most of them. I see a couple that look brand new. They were planted in the fall of 2021. It is now May 2023. They survived 2 winters so far, so I think they might survive this transplant, but time will tell. This is just perfect. I have 12 plants in 6 sections on the panel, so I'm just gonna plan this like a little pie and put 2 pieces per section. And I'm not putting it right at the edge. I want to give it room to still expand some more. I'm trying to decide if I want to add a little bit of fertilizer with them, but I think after the shock they've had, I don't think I want to do that. I want to stick with what we already have here. I guess all that's left is to get it watered in. Before I do that, you may have seen me pulling soil out of the middle because these will grow 10 feet or more. I don't need to plant anything in the middle, so it's okay if I pull some of that soil out, and eventually I'll fill that in with mulch so that it just has a level spot there. I'm gonna get this watered in before I add any mulch to this bed. Wondering, did I really just put these flowers in here while they're still in the pot? Yes, I did, and here's the reason. I needed to trim up the dead vines from the Asian wing beans, and while those are working on coming back, I wanted to have a little color in this bed. It's cute up here in the front of my house, so I decided to take some plants that I had designated for something else and temporarily use them up here until the wing beans start showing off again. So meantime, they can just be in their little pots. I'll keep them watered. Some roots will probably go through. And when it's time for the other project, I can easily take them out and finish up another garden project I have here in the meadow. Well, it officially took 5 days for me to finish this project. That's just the way it is though. I have to work on them in between all the other things in my life, but I love doing it. I've had plans for this bed up here for a long time, and it just makes my heart so happy to have that finished. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to know more about my crazy antics here in my Northeast Florida Zone 9A garden, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, my friends, remember to drink plenty of water, wear that high quality sunscreen, and as always, have a fantastic day. Just as soon as part 2 is ready, I will be sure to link it right here at the end of this video. So if you see a little video to click on right there that says part 2, it's ready and you can enjoy it now.